She was just 16, working as a cashier at a McDonald's in Tucson. But Brittany Oyo says that first job turned into a nightmare when an older employee preyed on her after first offering her a ride.
When I started to see his intentions were something other than just dropping me off at work, it became more complicated.
Brittany then became one of thousands of women across the country who say they were sexually harassed on the job.
I felt like all my hard work and everything I had put into it was taken away like that. It was horrible.
Today, Brittany, who's now 19 years old, is on the front lines in the fight against workplace sexual harassment.
McDonald's likes to call itself America's best first job. But for me, it was the worst experience I've ever had.
But I had friends other places, other fast food restaurants where they'd gone through the same thing as mine or worse.
She joined a chorus of women linked arm in arm who say they will no longer be silenced. Among them, Padma Lakshmi, host of Bravo's Top Chef.
Today, we show support for these brave women.
Today, the labor group Fight for 15, along with the ACLU and Time's Up Legal Defense Fund, created to expand the Me Too movement past Hollywood, announced their latest cases.
We're here to announce the filing of 25 new EEOC charges and lawsuits against McDonald's.
This chapter in the Me Too movement is taking on an iconic American corporation, one of the largest in the world, accusing it of sexual harassment, gender-based discrimination, and retaliation that they say reflects the brutal reality facing low-wage workers.
McDonald's, it's time to sit down with the workers who help make $6 billion in profits possible, so together we can stamp out harassment once and for all.
What this latest round of cases represents in the evolution of the Me Too movement is that women who previously were voiceless, invisible, did the work that a lot of us took for granted of making our food, those women and their experiences have come out of the shadows.
Brittany's story begins in 2016, when she first took that job at McDonald's to help support her family.
I was one of the main providers for a family of 6.
But she says an older manager repeatedly subjected her to unwanted attention, starting with text messages about how she dressed.
And then it went from there to my family didn't have a car at the time, and he had offered to take me home after work, which I accepted because I had no other way home at the time and I needed the money from the job. So from there, it just became more personal.
In a complaint Brittany filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, she alleges that during that car ride, he flirted with her in a suggestive manner and once tried to kiss her. On other occasions, she alleges he touched her ponytail or neck.
It wasn't until later on when it got worse and it continued that I felt like I had to let my parents know.
She says her parents took action, reporting his behavior to other managers. Then she says she was retaliated against.
My hours had been cut. They would place me on undesirable shifts.
For Padma Lakshmi, rallying against sexual assault and harassment is personal.
I just wanted to stand in solidarity, shoulder to shoulder with these women.
She began her career as a model and actress in Europe.
This season, we are dreaming big.
Today is the host of Bravo's hit show, Top Chef. But after 32 years of living with a painful secret, Lakshmi revealed in the New York Times that she was raped by an older boyfriend when she was just 16, writing, "The next thing I remember is waking up to a very sharp stabbing pain like a knife blade between my legs. He was on top of me."
My hope is that the more of us that tell our story, we will actually diminish the occurrence of this happening.
Sexual harassment allegations against McDonald's are nothing new. Back in 2012, the EEOC won $1 million settlement against a Wisconsin franchisee of 25 restaurants for complaints that began in 2006. And last September, hundreds of workers went on strike, walking off the job in protest. Women's advocates placed the responsibility squarely in McDonald's hands throughout its web of more than 14,000 locations in the country, even though 90% of them are owned independently.
McDonald's has the power over their franchises to control the kinds of policies that are put in place and then how those policies are implemented.
In a written response, McDonald's stated that it rolled out new training programs last fall to prevent harassment and discrimination for all restaurant managers, and that by strengthening our overall policy, creating interactive training, a third-party managed anonymous hotline beginning in June 2019, and importantly, listening to employees across the system, McDonald's is sending a clear message that we are committed to creating and sustaining a culture of trust where employees feel safe, valued, and respected. The restaurant industry is notorious for allegations like these. A 2016 survey found that 40% of women in the fast food industry had faced workplace sexual harassment. And of them, more than 1 in 5 reported retaliation after raising the issue with their employer.
The women who are at the center of these charges make $8, $9, $10 an hour. A lot of these folks are supporting kids, and losing a job because they're experiencing retaliation means losing support for their families, losing rent, losing their homes.
It was a lot tanner back then.
Madison, whose last name we are withholding, was only 16 years old when she started working at an IHOP franchise in Illinois. She spoke about 2 of her managers' lewd behavior with ABC's Diane Sawyer last year.
They would come up behind me and they would just rub up against me. They're so confident, you know, that no one was ever going to say anything.
She says one of them asked her to run a personal errand with him before the shift started. The teenager got in the car.
What happened? He parked the car and he just unbuckled his belt and unzipped his pants, and he just pulled out his penis, and it was already erect. It was already, like, he was, I don't know, it was just ready. And then he grabbed the back of my head and pushed my head down, and he just kept pushing my head up and down. And he said, well, it's not worth it if you're not enjoying it.
Afterwards, she says the franchise owner and those 2 managers warned the young girl she should say nothing, not only to protect her job, but to protect their families. She continued to work there for 1 more year.
I feel so naive for even going in the car to begin with. And I think I blamed myself for a long time.
Madison filed a lawsuit against the franchise and the IHOP Corporation. Since her story first aired, IHOP settled the case, paying her an undisclosed sum and pledging to implement new sexual harassment policies.
If no one does anything about it, they're going to keep getting away with it.
As for Brittany, she no longer works at McDonald's.
Last Friday, I graduated from high school, and in July, I'll be joining the Air Force. I found my voice in this fight and will continue speaking out until McDonald's takes our concerns seriously, addresses them, and makes them change. Thank you.
For Nightline, I'm Lindsay Davis in New York.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.